Hi everyone, so in this video I want to share with you some very common moves, stretches and exercises that just make piriformis pain so much worse. So if you have pain, just stay away from these moves. Alright, so the very first move I would like to share is the pigeon pose, and while this definitely can help relieve the pain, from my own experience I found that it doesn't just in general, because it is a bit of an aggressive stretch for the piriformis and the hip joint. So if the piriformis is already inflamed and spasming, this over lengthening and then maintaining this pose for a while, it just causes more irritation and more pain when you stand up. All right, so the next move is just pulling both knees in. Pulling knee to chest across the body. Sometimes these are really good stretches in general for just people who don't have pain, but it's just the same thing with the pigeon pose. It does force the piriformis and the glutes into more of a lengthened position, so this can cause and create some spasm. And the other thing also is it's easier around the lumbar spine when you are doing these moves, which can cause some sciatica. So again, any stretch where you're pulling knee to chest, just make sure that you're not rounding your back. Really pay attention to that, because that's just not good for your posture in the long term. Anything that rounds your lumbar spine, and also just holding a stretch for more than 1 minute. You know, these long static stretches, they can feel good in the moment, but it just rebounds later, and the tightness comes back afterwards when you stand back up. All right, so the next move is just forward bends or toe touches. And again, it just feels really good to do these stretches in the moment. But the thing is that it increases that spinal flexion, so it can cause some more pain if you have sciatica. So if you have a disc herniation or sciatica, it can really flare up the pain and irritate the piriformis. So the next move I would like to share is a very common move in yoga, and this is just standing on one leg, shifting all of the weight there and balancing on that one leg. And this has caused me so much piriformis pain just from overloading that side. And instead of, you know, creating balance between each side, we just cause more pain on that side. So I would avoid any balancing moves if you have piriformis pain. And the last thing I want to share is just relying on foam rolling directly on the piriformis muscle. You guys know that I really like to use the massage ball instead against the wall. You can definitely use the foam roller, but you want to control the pressure. And it's really hard to control the pressure when you are sitting right on it. And it can just irritate the sciatic nerve here. So a better approach, again, is just to do the release standing. And I will share a video below for that. If you've been stuck stretching for so many months and the pain just keeps coming back, it's definitely not your fault. Most people just go back to stretching to get that relief, and most genetic stretches, they just kind of give us that short-term quick relief. So the solution is not just to keep stretching, but is to restore balance in your hips. So I will highly recommend that you grab the Piriformis Control Program. So it will give you really structured step-by-step approach instead of just doing trial and error and just keep overstretching and doing all these things that can make the pain worse.